Okay, so welcome to Diane Ziegenhagel's talk. She's going to be talking about dreaming it and what did we call it? Dream it, make it? Dream it, launch it.
Launch it.
And Diane Ziegenhagel owns Friday's Image. She purchased that business 27 years ago. She's a makeup artist by trade, has done a whole bunch of stuff, everything from milking cows to working on movie sets, traveling around the U.S. doing makeup. And she recently had an epiphany or saw an opportunity and took that opportunity to launch her makeup line, Us Girls Cosmetics. And so this is for Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's to promote entrepreneurship. Diane is here very generously and going to share her story with us. So please welcome Diane Ziegenhagel.
Thank you. Thank you. And hello, if there's anybody in Brooks watching, hello. The epiphany that I had 13 years ago in developing Us Girls Cosmetics was because of a need. As a makeup artist, I had worked with many different makeup lines, and when I first bought Friday's Image 27 years ago, I've always had makeup in the store. I've always done makeup. Even if you've had the opportunity to come into the store, there's always been makeup at the front before you get to the other the bra business at the back part. And so I even decided there was lots of, we carried, before I get into there, I carried lots of makeup lines. Lancome was one of the first ones we started out with. Then I carried MAC Cosmetics before MAC was MAC. It used to be just the behind-the-scenes makeup artist line, and if you were a makeup artist, you worked with those theater makeups, and MAC was one of those lines. And I was fortunate enough to have that line in my store when it took off. And it was really exciting to be involved in that. To make money, that's what the exciting part was. We will talk about making money a little bit as we go along here as well. And then Estee Lauder bought MAC Cosmetics, and the makeup line was taken away from us, little makeup artists, and brought into department stores. And department stores reigned and ruled when it came to the best cosmetics, or they thought the best cosmetics. But if you were just a little person in downtown Medicine Hat on 2nd Street and doing makeup, the only lines you could get were very few. And I did carry Truco for a while, which a lot of people knew. That was an extended part of the Sebastian Truco line, and we did well with that as well. But it started becoming expensive, and the margin on it wasn't very big. So I started thinking, well, maybe I could be a makeup artist and not have makeup in the store, and you could bring your makeup in, and I would just teach you how to work with your own cosmetics. And that wasn't really great either. And so then I decided, how hard can this be? I am going to create my own, because who came on the scene was Bobbi Brown. And Bobbi Brown started off with the member beige brown neutral lipstick. She created that neutral look that we could look good still in, you know, our skin color that we have, except enhanced. And so when she came on the scene, lots of little makeup artist companies started evolving. And then as these little makeup lines came about, I wanted part of their action too. I thought, well, maybe she'll feel sorry for me, or this line will feel sorry for me, and I'll be able to sell it in the store as well. And none of them wanted any action in Medicine Hat either. So I was starting to feel like, okay, you know, all the walls and the doors are closing, but I'm still gonna, on the back burner is I'm going to create my own line, just so that I can have a line and put in the colors that I want. There was Maybelline, there was CoverGirl, they were willing to sell to me. But I mean, that was everywhere. I mean, that's practically a drive-through makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that makeup either. So then I came upon the idea, I started contacting some labs and had them ship me different products that they created. And the industry is not that difficult, really, or hard to figure out or get a hold of. Some do eye pencils really well. There was only one lab in the whole world that I knew of that made pencils, and they were in East Germany. So it didn't matter if you got eye pencils from Lancome, Lise Wattier, Bobby Brown, they all came from East Germany. So all pencils were made there. And so the world is not, it wasn't that hard to sort of, a lot of these labs that I was working with did a lot of contract work for lots of big makeup companies. So I started looking at, I liked some products from one lab, some from another. And that's sort of what I did. I decided that I would take, all my eyeshadows and color from this lab in Florida, and then there was another lab in Montreal that I liked working with. So it was actually kind of difficult to try to get everything always together in sync and get stamped at the same time with your logo on it. So that production of it and trying to get it into the to Friday's Image is always a challenge. It's never not going to be a challenge. But anyway, so that part, if you want to talk to me more about that part of it, you can. But that's just kind of the brief, a little brief bit on trying to get certain products that you want in your store at one time, like the ones I want. And and I wanted to describe that era to you. That was the era where women came in and they wanted a beige, neutral, not too brown, not too pink lipstick. And there was none to be had on the market. Maybelline wasn't doing anything yet. CoverGirl wasn't doing anything yet. So I got access now to bring my kind of Bobbi Brown-ish look to my store and be able to put these really modern looks that they were seeing on the Gap, because then it was just starting to get big too back then. And everybody wanted, the Gap sweatshirt like they want the Lululemon one now. That was big back then, but they wanted that nice neutral look. They wanted a blush that didn't look like, rosy. It looked like a nice flush, like you just walked your dog or mailed a letter in the cold weather. And so that part there that was trying to give you a description of the era that I was feeling this niche that needed to be filled in my store in Medicine Hat. So I thought of the name Us Girls Cosmetics because I have 10 girlfriends that I grew up with from basically grade 4 to we're still really good friends now. And I decided that I would name 10 lipsticks after them. And then it would be fun to name other Medicine Hat people, because now I kind of am revengeful, because I want it stamped Medicine Hat now. I want it to, it's put together in Medicine Hat. It's going to have Medicine Hat names, and I'm going to, I had some other ideas to give tributes to other women in the Medicine Hat, put lipsticks on their names, giving them a tribute party and all kinds of things. We can talk about marketing and that stuff later too if you want, or question me on that. So I had a graphic designer named Art Smith Communications out of Edmonton, and he is a fabulous graphic artist, and you can look up his website. I did know nothing about him, and this is how I did everything. Was I saw a pamphlet with how he did his, he was doing a pamphlet for waterworks in the PFRA, and because I was living on the farm, I loved this look he did with raindrops and things, and I don't know, it just looked like it just had my taste written all over it. So I phoned the PFRA and found out who did it, and they told me who did it, and then I talked to John Smith is his name, and John and I became pretty good friends, and because I was the struggling person, struggling creating a makeup line. Oh, I should tell you too, I started with $1,600 with this. Yes, and so I was only going to take that $1,600 and dump this into this makeup line, and that's what was going to make me a millionaire and famous and whatever else I wanted in life. And John, who now after all these years is probably, he would never probably take any commission from anybody like me back then. I think it was just my phone call and how we talked, and I just said, look, I'm starting this makeup line. I have this idea. Could you create it for me? And I said, and I only have this amount of money. And if I can suggest anything, one thing through this talk that I give you today is tell them how much money you have and what can they do for you for this amount of money. That is not terrible. Don't get scared like, oh, I can't go to John Smith, he'd be too expensive. Or I can't go to this person, oh, they're too expensive. You're closing your door way before you need to. I always say, how do you know they're that expensive? Have you asked them? Have you talked to them about it? Can they do something for that amount of money? So John and I have I've worked together for over the last 13 years. And I always tell him how much money I have to spend. And his work is fabulous. So then the line came together, and I didn't tell any of my staff either that I was putting this makeup line together because I didn't want them to think, when this line came in, I wanted them to think, this line looks exciting. This line looks like I want a piece of it. I want it to have that feel, because I created they give you different types of packaging. They send you packaging, these labs, and you can pick different types of compact packaging. You can pick the lipstick tubes you want. You can pick the colors. You can pick, so you can do all, that's the fun part, So then I had the labels to stick on the bottom of these packaging too. Now that was hard to do, not on site at that time, because I just had, I think, we didn't even have the internet all that long then. I think I had, it was still all fresh. Like when I think of what's happened in technology, just even, from 13 years ago to now, it's totally amazing. But anyway, Holmes Printing does my stickers on the bottom of my, all my makeup, the blushes. They die cut the right size for me and everything. They are so professional. They've been in printing forever, But as time goes on, I've also used John Boylan, and John is fabulous too. So it depends. I've got stuff set up with that Holmes, and I've got stuff set up with John now, John too. And they both are really, accommodating and professional, and I would highly recommend if you need some stuff done by them too. Or if you know how to work your own computer with all that, but you get to the point and make your own labels and stuff, but you eventually cannot do everything. So the line came in, the girls were excited. I had a little launch party for it. So my first, and that was good, the launch was good. It wasn't like over the top. The newspaper interviewed me, the TV station interviewed me. I've had great opportunities on promoting it in the community, and it's been a really nice line to work with. It's got all the approval that you need because I was a person who had a lot of allergies, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to have a lot of people coming back to me and unhappy with the product, so I pay attention to that as well. Then after that, I have to say now from the first products that I kicked off the line with are still the very best products still in the line. People still need that same. I created an eyebrow fill-in color called Dirt. Dirt is still my #1 eyebrow fill, eyebrow powder after 13 years. It's the most natural. And the reason, again, I needed the line is because all browns that you put in your eyebrows had red in it. And you looked like, it looked like there's that lady filling in her eyebrows. Everybody could tell because they could see that little bit of red residue. So there was just things why I wanted to have my own stuff so that people look natural. I could put my stamp of approval on them and feel good about that it was mine and that it made that girl feel great about herself. And that's my passion too as well. That's why I'm in as a makeup artist. I love to be able to, if a person's got deep set, close set eyes and they're, looking tired all the time, what can I do to help them? If you come to me for advice, there's nothing, I get more giggles and goosebumps making that person feel good. And I guess that's my calling in my life, is that whole thing on image and making them feel good. But not like being a snob. You know, that's not important. You know, I mean, to me, you want to be approachable, and that's important when it comes to makeup, because just even the way your eyebrows look can make you unapproachable. You could be the friendliest person on the face of the earth. And as Barb knows, she's been my eyebrow client, that that's one of my fortes too, because I would be doing like a wedding. I have 6, you know, girls, the bride, I've worked with her before, and then I've got these bridesmaids coming in all over Canada, coming in for the wedding. And the eyebrows, it wouldn't matter if I could, unless I could fix those eyebrows and make them look good, nothing's going to happen. I got to get them fixed. So that's something, another little thing I took under my wing and decided I wanted to be the eyebrow guru. And Anastasia in the United States, her and I can be neck and neck. She's not the only eyebrow guru, but I enjoy my job, and I've now had to train another gal in the store to do eyebrows, because after a while, this becomes a big monster kind of say. And now what do you do when you've added new things to the line, and your one lab shut down, and so then you have to start looking at other labs. So there's all these different things that you have to work with and decide like what you're going to do, and it keeps you on your toes too. It's fun. Creating new colors. I actually don't go in the basement and create these colors or mix these up. These labs do new colors, and they send them to me, and I look at them, and if I love them, I say, yeah, I'll take this, this, and this. And I can have specially designed stuff for me too, for Us Girls Cosmetics. And so I am in a stage right now of like my line's gotten huge. I'm going to do some tweaking in it, kind of make it a little more cohesive. Of course, I want to keep adding fun stuff so that you go to the counter, you see something new. We teach classes. I have other makeup artists come into town. Like if I know you're a makeup artist here, I know of other makeup artists in the community, I bring them under my wing, and we'll have a day where they can help me and I can launch their career, or 3 different makeup artists and do one Saturday, one day, come down and have your makeup done by A, B, or C makeup artist. So it's fun to collaborate, and there's so much talent in our community that I think doesn't get tapped or shown. So I kind of like to let the community know, and to be I'd like to be a store where people know that they can get knowledge about their makeup in the store, and that we can give that to them. Yes, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But it's a nice place that you know you can come in, and that there's pretty much, you know, if you've got dark circles and you're 55, how can I cover those? I've over-tweezed my eyebrows. What can I do? You know, like guys too, we can do men's eyebrows. There's all kinds of things, you know, that we can help you with too, with facial hair and stuff like that. And we do waxing, but I don't do anything below the neckline. So now I brought some of my makeup too as well. And one of the best seller things in here is the mineral powder. You can go through here if you want and have a look at it. The color Dirt is here. The mineral powder, you know, in a wand. And the best-selling lip gloss, Chrissy Gloss, named after my sister. And the best-selling blush, Excitement. Because I felt like when you did put blush on, it should be a little exciting. So, and then there comes that time that you've got to decide that you're going to have a website. Do I put this online? Should I put PayPal with it? Should I, you know? And so what I did is 3 years ago, I took the time to have the website built, and TriCube did it at the news. And I love Vaughn and Dusty. And Dusty, I think, came from visual communications here. And she did all my illustrations of my girls here. Because I thought, you know what, I like to have something fun to go through. Because I want it to kind of look like a little bit cartoon, but still be serious enough to be taken seriously and still keep your interest, because we know we have no attention spans nowadays. And I'm one of those people too. So we go to Us Girls Cosmetics, and then so here's the eyes. And the reasons why I want to show you this is because we call this girl Elaine. Elaine, and so I had Dusty take, this is my very first Elaine, and I'll just pass these stickers around and you can see this, and I'll comment on these after. Sorry about that. Elaine, the first Elaine I had, if you've known me for any length of time, I have natural curly hair, and my hair was really dark, and I used to wear it kind of like Elaine on Seinfeld, and people would get me mixed up with Elaine on Seinfeld. Like when I was in a big city, people would think I was Elaine from Seinfeld, and I'd think, oh, very nice, thank you, here's $1. But so what happened is I decided to go with this look that I was having at that time, and I went and looked in a magazine called Wedding Bells, and Wedding Bells had some illustrations of a girl that I thought were really cute. And so I emailed the editor of Wedding Bells magazine, and I got a hold of the person that created that illustration. And I found, she called me back, and she did some illustrations with me, and we worked together. And finally I just said to her, because we weren't getting, because this was now through email and everything, and we weren't getting the look that I was wanting, because she's now going to be my girl that is face chart girl. So, okay, you got it. So, because you have to have one of those face charts, so your customers, when you do all their makeup, you can, fill in what blush I used, whatever. So I said to, what was her name again? I think she lived out of her car too. Anyway, so I said, okay, I want you to make her look like Elaine from Seinfeld. And then it clicked. We got the illustration done, and she became my first Elaine. And then I had Dusty create many different Elaines. Elaine that does eyes. And Dusty is so good. She really, really, she is, grab her well, she isn't charging this much money. Because her fee's got to go up, I know it. And then, Dusty plays roller derby too. That just slays me. And here's the lips Elaine. And then all the images were vectorized too, and just gives it that extra little fun. Then cheeks Elaine. And then Elaine face for our mineral powder. Oh, you know what? The mineral powder Elaine I don't think is on here. But she's up front there, and she's got that wand. She looks like a princess, and when you put the mineral powder on, she becomes transformed because she's wearing Us Girls mineral powder. And what else do we have here? Oh, accessories. And this site is really easy to navigate to. So here she's got some of our, this is the next thing I'm working on right now, is a new brush line. So it'll have, like, my handles will be either hot pink or lime green. And so I just contacted somebody who makes brushes, and they're going to send me some of their brushes. And guess what? They make for almost all the brush lines in the whole world. So, yes?
How do you know to launch a new product?
Because I pay attention to my competition. Oh, how do I know when to launch a new product? I love to watch my competition. When I go into stores shopping, my big thing is the makeup counters. So when I get to, Macy's in the States, or Nordstrom's, or the Bay in Calgary, or I'm right at the counters. And then, like, Holt Renfrew's got lots of cutting edge lines in their store too, lots of new up and coming lines as well. I look on makeup line sites, websites, their websites of things. I look at blogs. Does that answer that, John? Okay. So she's my favorite girl, because she's creating magic. So I really think that should be what makeup's about, because we want to look, it's hard to take the Barbie out of us as women. It still doesn't matter how old we get, we still want to look pretty. It makes us feel confident. And today, just before I came here, I was looking on this huge blog on what's new and coming up in makeup, if there could be anything new. And the new thing that I just saw was men's eyelashes. They're going to do for men. And I think it's fabulous. I do, because I think there's a lot of guys. And you know, the other thing I think it's good for is for their self-confidence if they don't have a lot of eyelashes. Plus, I think it's great that guys look great. Because if any of you saw Crazy Stupid Love just the other day, did any of you go to the movie? Oh, did you see it? Oh, okay, so I was going to say. Okay, the moral of the story was, men, don't let yourself go. That was my view of that story. But there's cancer patients too, and I think men wouldn't mind having those extra lashes too when they're going through chemo and stuff like that. So then I want to show you a little bit about my site, because when I was creating this, there's so many things that you have to go through that's really actually pretty fun. And then we took pictures of these, Dusty drew them, and then we vectorized them all as well.
What does it mean to vectorize?
It makes them look like they're kind of cartoons. Like they're kind of like a cartoony character. And actually, like when you see this up close really well, it just gives it that little more, I don't know, it just looks more polished. It's more expensive too as well, because it's more time consuming. But I just think they look good in paper. They look good on when you send emails out and you want to reuse those images over and over. So over here you can go and choose your colors. These bring up all the colors. And then you can go over to this little bag. It should open up. Okay. There's nothing in my cart. Sorry about that. Okay. The bag does. Okay, I gotta go back like this. Sorry. See if there's a bag on the bottom that opens up. I'm lying. There it is. See? Pardon? TriCube at the Medicine Hat News. So I just think some of these little things that they did were just really cute. This I'm fixing right now because that to me looks really unappetizing to put on your face. That looks more like you opened a can of dog food. So I want to have that fixed. But so that is, then you can go, the same thing, you can be on the Facebook. If you register too, and I'll show you our Facebook page, which does deal with both things that I do. I had as well one of those really beautiful large screens made for trade shows last year. And so this year I went on the road trade showing with Us Girls Cosmetics to see what I need. Is it important? Will it build awareness? People that won't come into the store and don't know anything about the makeup, will they walk up to Us Girls Cosmetics? So I don't have all my post ideas on that done yet, if I really think it's worthwhile or not. Yes, I made some money, but I think if I did some things a little bit differently, I could create more awareness, get more interaction in the booth. You know, just letting your booth sit there is the saddest thing of all. You can't do that. So we could talk about booths or trade shows if you feel like that too as well. But then I gave away $100 worth of cosmetics at the booth. And, you know, I think I really like to have things look nice. Like if you're going to have a draw box, don't make it homemade. You know, you want it to look good. You can get this at Staples, I think, for $11. And some of the other things here. So what I did here, I want to talk about the launch I had for, okay. Okay, plan to attend this Wednesday, September 21st at Paradise Valley Par 3 Golf Club on the second floor. Our lipstick bar opens at 7:30 to 9. Enjoy gluten-free cupcakes from Ooh La La, sample products from Pamper My Senses. What I did is a tribute to Sisterhood. And here it is, sorry. I got ahead of myself here. Us Girls Cosmetics presents Sisterhood of the Schultz Sisters. And I took 3 sisters that are real givers in the community. And I named 3 lipsticks after them. One was Donna Sir. She works with the Children's Wish Foundation. She had a daughter pass away just recently, like, well, 3 years ago maybe. Then her sister Maureen Lesko, and then she has another sister, Norma Van Cleef. And I have known each one of these girls in Medicine Hat for years, but didn't know that they were sisters. And I decided to do, last year I did a launch called Red Like Ev, and I did it to Evelyn Kleiss, and she picked, we made and created 3 lipsticks for her event, and had it at the Esplanade, and we gave a great big tribute to Evelyn. It was just like girls' tribute, but it was like really fun. And this year I did on Sisterhood and did the Schultz sisters, and it was so nice that their name was Schultz because the Sisterhood event with the S was just, so that was kind of magical that worked out for me. And so anyway, we had a lipstick bar. I named the lipsticks for the Sisterhood of the Schultz sisters, Sister Maureen, Sister Donna, and Sister Norma, like they were nuns, and because they do all this great work. And it was really fun, and we raised money too for the Children's Wish Foundation. We were able to give some money to them, and so I plan to do more of those events as long as I am able and mentally able to do it. But so it's taken a long ways from just, I've taken it, to me, a long ways from just this line that was just to help women look great when I did their makeup, made them feel self-confident, made them look great on their graduation, when on a christening, on a wedding day, on a day where they just need to renew themselves, get a new look, update. Makeup does so many positive things. I have a brother, both of my brothers are chiropractors, and the one chiropractor that lives in Calgary, he got out of it, and he said that it was really depressing because everybody came to him because they were sick or hurting, and I went, like, you just thought of that? Anyway, and I don't have days like that. In this business, I think that there's not enough makeup artists. It's a business that you can put your own hours into. You can work it so that you can have children and try to have that home style life if you want as well. It's got lots of opportunities to work in movies, to be personal makeup artists for people. There's just a vast amount of areas. You can work in a funeral home. You can, there's so many areas that I get called on to work in. I remember one time I was asked to work in Lake Louise. They were doing, who was there? A big event where it was like a Cirque du Soleil theme. Some bored rich people were having a party, and I think there was a donation that they gave to a fund or something like that, but I sort of cracked up when I first heard about it. And a bunch of makeup artists were hired to do airbrushing and make them look like Cirque du Soleil characters, and then as well to airbrush some animals too as well, to make a horse. I think that was white, green, or purple, I forget. But it's such a fun and uplifting business. And I said uplifting. Oh, that's my other business. Anyway, so to me, it's a type, if you're looking for a career, you don't always just have to get into, I don't think you can really, honestly, successfully launch a makeup line without being a makeup artist. I mean, it wouldn't even make sense. I know lots of people say they got good taste, but you really have to know the difference between a cool color, a warm color. Anyway, yes? She has said, how do I reach most of my clientele and what is my best marketing strategy? I have a storefront. I advertise a lot in the newspaper. I have a huge bill at the news. It's not the internet so much yet for me. I think I knew that that had to be done, and that I know is going to be part of that. That's going to be something, but I think you have to advertise. There's no two ways about it. You have to get out there and do it. A lot of small business people will say, oh, they'll know me by word of mouth. Well, I'm thinking, if McDonald's has to advertise, you know, as much as they do, to keep in the forefront, me on 2nd Street in Medicine Hat, I do have to let people know. I have to spend some money. You cannot be afraid to spend some money, to give some product away, to do talks like this, to let people know, you know, what you're doing. Best of all, of course, my best advertising is when I do somebody's face, of course, when I, you know, do that.
Do you feel Medicine Hat, a small community, hinders you, or is it a positive rather than being in a large center like Calgary or Vancouver or Toronto?
The question is, do you think being in a smaller city hinders me, and that being in a larger center would be better for what I'm doing? Well, 13 years ago, I would have exactly said that. You know, I actually, because I'd just given birth to my daughter, and I launched the line at the same time. And I think my view of it was, I'm just going to have a makeup line for myself, you know, just in the community. So when my Medicine Hat people, because really my passion is my city. I love my city. I like giving back to the city. And I think being a Medicine Hatter, Vogue magazine falls here, and I wanted to have a fun, hot line in Medicine Hat too. So I didn't really think of outside of the box really then. I just thought of my little Medicine Hat and giving it some status in it by, you know, giving names to these different women that I admire. Nowadays, of course, I don't think that it really matters because you have an 800 number, you're on the internet. I can put, I can make a video and put it on my website. I can put it on YouTube. Yes, you got to kind of think of gimmicks to get out of it, but I'm not so much worried about that. You just have to make sure that you've got the time and the energy if you're going to do that. That's the thing where I'm at right now, is I know that my next step will take so much time. Yes?
Do you have any other retailers who are carrying your line?
Yes. There's an esthetician in Maple Creek. It's called NC Nails, MC Nails, Maple Creek Nails. And Igul, there is, carries my line there. She's carried it, I think, for about 3 years. There was a salon in Brooks that carried it at one point, Euphoria was the name, and they're not anymore. And there's another line, another hairstylist in Medicine Hat that just carries it to do makeup for their clients. Alicia does it. And then if they want products, then they just come over to the store.
What proportion of your income is the lingerie versus the makeup?
25% is the makeup. I will tell you, I will give you the number. The first year that I launched it, I made $50,000 from it. That was my first year. It's not that right now because I am too busy doing other stuff. I'm not paying attention to it. So, yes, John?
Have you thought of focusing on that product? And like, how hard is it to develop retail networks? Like, if there are other people thinking of products, could you just talk a little bit about?
Okay, meaning like if I wanted to sell Us Girls Cosmetics to across Canada, then that would mean for me right now, I'm talking about me because I am here, it's too much work for me to do it right now, but I could take Us Girls Cosmetics, like the trade show, and go to the trade shows that sell makeup to different, the hair industry, to the spa industry. There's a spa show, there's the hair show, there's cosmetic shows, there's packaging shows. I could do that, but I can't do it right now myself. And so, and then I think I need to design sort of like a beginner package, you know, that would have like the tester units alone are a nightmare to sort of get together and work on and present. really nicely to the public as well. So that would be what I would have to do. I think I would need to be in there behind the counter, talking to them, and being Diane behind the counter at the beginning. I think I really need to do that. Yes?
Do you have any future plans to facilitate your advertising into the social internet infrastructure a little bit more, aside from just, say, Facebook? Do you have any other places you're looking at where you can advertise online, possibly expand?
Okay, the question is, that's a hard question to say. He's asking me if I am at a stage where I could do other internet advertising besides just my Facebook, Twitter, and my website. Yes, and right now I'm a mother of 2 children, and I run the store, and then I work on creating this cosmetic line. And I know there's other stuff, like somebody just even said to me, what about doing something on Kijiji? I heard there's some kind of, you can make these little, building these little websites and stuff like that. But I am just trying to keep posting and updating. Like, I'm sitting there watching TV and I'm going like, I should be down there and letting everybody know who won the draw at the trade show tonight, you know? So I'm finding that I have to almost get another person maybe just to do that. Maybe that's what I have to do.
Find a balance, right?
I don't know. Is there such a thing? Like, you know, I don't know if I think if you're cleaning your garage, your laundry gets piled up, and then if your garage is cleaned, the kitchen's dirty. You know, I don't think there's, you know, ever that balance. So it's a matter of learning to let go of the reins and let somebody else do work. And that's been a really hard thing for me. In the last 5 years, I've been doing well at that, though. That there is other people that can do things more other in this world than just me. Yes?
How long ago was it that you very first opened up your business, like the laundry business?
That I opened up Friday's Image?
Yeah.
I opened it up 27 years ago, 1984. Is that 27 years? I'm sure it is. Okay, 1984.
So, and how long did it take before you saw a profit from that? Before you raised
Okay, I will tell you, when I first bought Friday's Image, it was a ladies' wear store. So I thought I had the best taste, and because I'd had you know, a couple of classes, I thought, you know, I'm going to take Medicine Hat by storm. They're going to line up to come there, and you know, and that was not the case, because ladies' wear, and I wasn't a mom back then either, and I could spend money on myself all the time because there was just me and my husband, and so at that point. I did nothing. Matter of fact, it put me into a bad state. You know, I took a lot of, when I bought the store, I paid the cost price on the goods that were already old that I shouldn't have. That was a mistake I made. I'm telling you that now. If that, never pay for, like if you're going to buy a store with a bunch of stock, get a price for it, but don't buy for what they paid for it. And I made that mistake. And so I always thought the next year would be better than next year, and I kept putting a lot of our own money into it, and that got really discouraging. And I also opened a little sock store called Stinky Feet, and I don't know if you ever, some of you guys maybe were just born. But it was really fun, really cute. I'd like to do it again even. It was successful. And when I closed Stinky Feet because ladies' wear wasn't doing well. And then I always sold bras, and I had just this little cupboard of bras, because when I was dressing ladies, I said, well, you know, we need to put the girls in the right spot so this looks good on you. And but I was always reordering these bras, and I knew it was a need, and I knew I was a hard fit, and I thought, I am going to change this up a bit and get completely out of clothes, and I'm just going to go and be a bra fitter, be a bra fitting business, because I was starting to look at those businesses, and when I was looking at the markets and seeing that they always had, I subscribed to Women's Wear Daily, which is another trade magazine that you, if you're in the business, you want to subscribe to. I think it's Tuesdays is lingerie day all the time, and just looked at what Warner's was doing at that time, and looked at what Wonder Bra was doing, and I got into it at the time where the Air Bra took off, and the water bra. So it was really good for me at that time. But I want to tell you, I had $60,000 worth of debt, and I paid it all off. It took me a long time, but I learned how to communicate with my suppliers. I would chat with them and tell them, look, this is what I'm prepared to do. I was fearless. I got a lot of courage. I used to think that they were going to close my doors, take all my furniture, do this, and that is not true. But I became, the new word, fierce. I didn't become lackadaisical about paying them, but I didn't listen to how they wanted me to pay them. I decided this is how I can pay you, and I made a plan and worked with them, and I paid it all back. And I paid it with, Warner's gave me credit. They gave me 60 days credit. So I would take some of that product. And by the way, I have no overdraft, and I pay pretty much everything cash. So, but you have to kind of stumble, fall on your face until you know these things. And if you think you've got a good idea and nobody's buying it, maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. That's just don't feel bad if it isn't either. Maybe you're supposed to do something else, because I felt like I really, really, was a real loser when I couldn't sell ladies' wear. It was bad on me. I was depressed. I was not the star I wanted to be. And so thinking about bras, and back then, beige and ugly was all you could sell on a 36G lady. And that market has just gone into such a beautiful state where women have such a selection. It's such a need in Medicine Hat and in every city. And so, did I answer that question?
Yeah, no,
okay, there. That's that question. I'll rattle on, Okay, more questions.
So who is your target market?
Who is my target market in makeup?
Yeah.
In makeup? Who is my target market? Now, I should know that standing up here. I know the age group is 35 to 55. It's a female. I look at Google Analytics.
Why 55?
I don't know. That's what it says on my analytics page.
I think you are mostly for younger people.
You think I'm up for younger people?
Yeah.
So who's younger in your age that you think?
20s.
In the 20s.
Yeah.
But there's lots of good-looking women that are 30. Okay, do you think Scarlett Johansson is young?
Yeah.
Okay. She's not just 20, we're not talking just Justin Bieber's age. We're talking, that next era. Even Julia Roberts. Maybe she's not real young, but Julia Roberts could be a customer of mine. She could come in and buy that mineral powder, one of those lipsticks, No, I'm going to be 55 in March, so I'm thinking definitely 65, 70 now. Yes.
If you had to choose between doing market research, Googling around and reading books and looking at stats, or picking up the phone and talking to people about all these products, which would you do and why?
Well, picking up the phone and talking to people, that would be endless. That would be huff and puff and blow the... No, that would be exhausting.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, say finding suppliers. So, I'm just trying to... Seems like you're just action-oriented, and you figure it out as you go. Is that...
Yeah, kind of, sure. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think I am that way. Yeah. That's the fearless part. The not afraid part. Any other questions? No more questions? Okay, what are you doing here? Hey, quit it.
So we're 10 minutes early. That's okay. If there are no other questions, I'm just going to thank Diane for coming out. I thought that was great.
Thank you.
And
Thank
a
you.
little gift from us.
Oh, thank
Do I have
you,
to
John.
talk into the microphone?
Yes, that would be very nice.
Okay.
Should I be on this other side then? Is that better?
I just wanted to sort of summarize what I heard. Basically, if you have an idea, do it. if you don't know what you need to do next, pick up the phone and phone someone who you think can help you. And I like the word fierce. And like, yeah, don't talk to people, sell. And you got to fall on your face to make it go. So this is like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I read about entrepreneurship and starting businesses and succeeding, this is exactly what they say. Yeah. And you do need help, and that's what the professionals are for: legal counsel, accountants, bookkeepers, branding people. You can only do what you can do, right? So thanks, Diane. I thought that was good, and that's it.
Well, thank you very much for listening to me, and especially you guys. Thank you.